you
Everybody,
ready?
it is us, Devonia, Ty, and Diane, the ladies of Ladies and Lyrics. If you were with us last week, we want to say, hey, y'all.
Hey,
If you
welcome
are
back.
to the show this week, we want to say, welcome. What took you so long? This is the place that you want to be. Tonight, you're going to be with some fabulous women. So get ready because this is the place where you're going to get some good music, real talk with some dope women.
Yes. This is time for the chit chat. Woo, today has actually been one of those days. Such a great day. But I ain't gonna get into the deep part of this day, but I've been thinking, Kareem, I have a 17-year-old, and he took the ACT and he went and took the test and did his thing, and I got an email because of technical difficulties, he got to take it again.
What?
Yes, I am so. And I said, I didn't realize. I said, Kareem, how do you feel? Because I'm like, okay, you get another chance. He said, I'm not happy, mommy. He said,
Yeah.
that's 4 hours. And on the school's part, I don't even feel that the students should have to suffer to take that again. And then,
Wow.
so yes. So,
Oh man. Oh
yeah,
wow. Yeah. I don't blame him. That's a
yeah,
long time to sit there, and especially if you felt good about it.
yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So I kind of feel like I was looking at it like, okay, you got to take it again. So maybe some of the parts that you wanted to do certain things on, now you got a chance to go back and you could do those things. You ever took a test and you say, I wish I would have did, or I knew this answer, and now I feel like you got another chance to do it. You got a clean slate, even though it's 4 hours. That's how I looked at it. I never took the test before. So.
Yeah. But you
Yeah.
know what? I could have sworn that they were saying because of the, coronavirus, COVID-19 and stuff, that they were going to, I thought I read this somewhere, but I could be wrong. But I thought they said that they were going to, like, kind of bypass that for this year or whatever. I mean, that's fair. Like,
It
come
is
on.
fair. But I think
Yeah.
that's for the end up like the state test, like the
Okay.
NWEA test that they take. I don't I guess it's not from the ACE for the ACT, but the things that the students take here in Chicago, which will be the NWA to determine if students are ready to move forward, or that test is being voided for the year, which it should be.
Yeah.
But I guess it doesn't apply to the high school, the seniors, and the children going to college.
College. Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
crazy though, too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's
Because my son just took a test for school, two tests on Monday and a test on Tuesday, one for math, one for English, and he didn't do well. And you know he was like kind of bummed out about it a little bit, and I just had to let him know it's okay. We just have to figure it out. Like, I did give him some mommy tough talk, but because sometimes he will, how kids be. They could play them video games. They could do this. They could tell you the algorithm to a video game, but they don't know how to tell you how to add 1 + 3. So it's like, it's a balance with that. But yeah, he didn't do well.
Mm.
And he was felt some kind of way, but he does well with the school test. But
Yeah.
Yeah, this virus thing, the kids being in the house, Kareem, he doesn't go to school.
Yeah.
And he was like, Mommy, you just don't understand. But when he explained it to me, because I'm like, you're home, you're doing it, you should be. He said it feels like it's homework all the time.
Mhm.
And the kids get behind because he said, I was like, what can I do? How can I help you?
Yeah.
And he said, it's really nothing you could do. I'm in the house. So I said, maybe we could start going out because he's really good. Kareem he was his teacher.
Yeah, he is a good kid.
He's a good student, but I feel like them being stuck in the house, then now you got to take another test, go sit in the school, and you got to take this test again. And it had nothing to do with you and everything to do with something technical that the school did. I'm like, oh man. So he got to take that again. So I kind of feel a little bad for him. So I don't know if other parents is going through something like that. If you guys are, please chime in. Is this a benefit or is this something that's bad? I don't know.
No, it's not a benefit. Everything about virtual learning is bad. It's just, and
Yeah.
as an educator. No. And even when maybe it was February 19th, I did a youth panel, and the young people, they were high schoolers. They want to go back to school. They want to be in school. They are tired of being at home. One boy said that he gets up, he's still in his pajamas. He gets in there, and he's like, hey, I'm rolling out of bed, roll over, get on the computer, and I'm still in the bed, And they're just like, there is nothing, no motivation, right? And then they also said they don't think the teachers are doing a good job. They said they don't feel like they're learning, and they don't feel as if the teachers are giving them anything new. But in defense of the teachers, because I'm an educator, it is difficult. This is new for them too. This is uncharted territory for them as well. And they know there's only so much you can do to try to teach children virtually. And they have all of these other things going on in their homes. Some of them, like I just said, still in the bed, and online. So yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah. Now, okay. So I agree with you, but okay. So I'm at home with my son all day, every day for virtual e-learning, and so I have watched. Okay, I'm gonna give two scenarios. At the end of the school year last year, it was terrible. It was horrible. But this year, I feel like, at least for me, the teachers that my child has, they have been a bit more prepared. And so my son's two teachers, he has three, but the two main ones, they have done a phenomenal job. And I see the effort that they have put in to try to make the environment good for the students. And then it's like, as a parent, I had to learn that it's on me to get involved in my child's learning. So if I'm sitting right next to him while he's in school, it's on me to make sure he's paying attention. It's on me to make sure that he gets up on time. It's on me to make sure that when I'm seeing him slacking, that I correct it. You see kids, like, I sit there every single day. You see kids, they come into class an hour late after class and already started, or they not showing up at all, or they acting a fool on this online, whatever. And I'm like, where is their parents at? Or the teacher asks them, like, where's your mom? Oh, she had to go to the store. Like,
well, because all households are not created equal.
Right, true.
You have to understand, all parents can't stay at home with their children. They have to work. And what do you do? What do you do? You have to provide for your family, and you can't be there. So that's why I say it's just not a good setup. But it's not fair, but there's nothing, it's nobody's fault.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. That's what I'm trying to say. It's nobody's fault. There's no finger pointing that can be done. Yeah. I truly believe that everybody's doing the best that they can.
Yeah. Yes. And I've learned that I had to partner with my son for his education, especially. I mean, I always have, and I've always been one of the active parents at my, throughout my son's education. But this year, I really saw how active and how involved that it was on. The onus was on me as a parent to make sure, and I'm happy to be able to sit there while the teacher is giving the lesson, so I can reiterate the teaching after it's over with, so I know what he's being taught, and then I can say, okay, you struggled here, I remember how the teacher taught that, so let me reiterate what she said and how she, whatever. So it's been a great experience for me in terms of understanding how my child learns. My son has an IEP. Not afraid to talk about it, not ashamed to talk about it, whatever. He has some slight issues, so he has an IEP. So I have been acting as my son's paraprofessional for him while he's been in school. And when I say it has been the most rewarding experience, yet stressful experience, it's like, okay, like I see what these teachers are going through.
Yep.
Our kids.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And I think that I feel that because of the virus and everything and everybody being home, it's holding parents accountable, because parents will send their children to school and want the teachers to be the mother and the teacher. And they're not focusing and they don't know what's going on. So now it forces the parent to make sure that their child, like you said, is doing the work. My experience is a little different because Kareem is 17. He always been a self-start. You know, I feel blessed in that area. I don't have to worry about him, but I still got to say, get up, go downstairs, because I feel like you need to change your environment. Like somebody was saying, getting out of bed and rolling over, and then they just open the computer. I think they need to be, I make him come out the room. You need to have a whole different environment. Even for me, I work from home. I can roll over and get on the computer, but I want to be able to be present. So you can't be present if you're in the bed, because the bed is for what?
Sleeping.
Right.
So if you're laying in the bed and you're trying to do some schoolwork, you're really not focusing. To me, I don't think so. If I'm working, because if I feel a little bit of sleep coming on and I'm working, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna close my eyes at least for 10 minutes. So I'm out the bed. So,
right. Yeah. And we all know, I've been a full-time entrepreneur for a year, almost going on a year and a half now. And so one of the major things that I had to learn was to get up out the bed, get dressed, like wash up, get dressed, and work, because otherwise you just kind of like, for me, I'm gonna say for me, it's like you not, yeah, like you said, you're not present, and it really makes a difference. So even with my son, get up, wash your face, brush your teeth, put some clothes on, and get in front of that camera. So
yeah.
I don't get dressed though. I used to put them clothes on. Now I just put the robe on.
I put the top on now, and I just have the leggings. Leggings is my thing. And then, but I do I put a sweater, something on, make it look like I'm dressed. But you do have to make those transitions, because being at home, it's comfortable. You know, you're home, but to be able to, this is work, this is for sleep.
You got to be able to separate it.
Separate it. Yeah.
I
believe that.
And I think everybody is just waiting on the world to get back to normal. You know, it's been nice being at home, working from home. And for some people, this works for them. They can work from home. They have no problem with it or whatever. But I think for the most part, we need to get back to some level of normalcy, because, this is deep.
Yes. Very, very deep.
Yeah. And even speaking as an introvert, a person that likes her alone time, likes to be alone, I started to be like, man, this is for the birds. What is going on? I need to see some people. Me. I was like, I really do like people, I was, even after so long, I was good at first. I'm like, yes, okay. At home, chilling, comfortable.
Staying at home.
And you know what I thought about? We coming up on the anniversary of the we coming up on the anniversary of the shutdown. Like tomorrow, I believe, is the anniversary of our first shutdown here in Chicago, Illinois. So it's like, this is like, now we finna start seeing our Facebook memories coming back up. Yeah. Yeah, coming back in, telling us all the stuff that happened and reliving that and revisiting that. So now we all about to be going back through all of that. So yeah.
And I don't want to relive it. I don't know about you all. I don't need to relive it. I'm over it. I am over the COVID.
Yeah. Brenda made a good point that the school is not checking on the kids' well-being. That is a good point. That's a good point, Brenda. You are 100% right. That, and even the school isn't, but we are not either, because we're not thinking about that. We are not thinking about how this is affecting the children, because we as adults are learning we know how to cope and navigate, but they don't. Even though this is new to us too, but they don't know how to navigate. So we kind of have to, help them navigate through all of this. And sometimes just sitting down and just saying, how are you feeling? What do you feel not being at school? How do you feel being at home? You can't, you don't have that human touch anymore. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I think that, for me, I was like, oh, Kareem is fine, but he actually wasn't. I had to have that conversation. So I think, sometimes as parents, we have to be able to say to our children, are you okay?
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
do you feel? What's going on? Knowing that you can't see your friends or you haven't really seen them in a long time, and how could we get the kids together, social distancing, because they still need to see one another and they still need to interact with humans and not just be virtual, everything virtual.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like Tiana said, this is about to be her anniversary of being off of work coming up next month. So hey, it's like everybody got the same story, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
hi to everyone that joined us a little bit late. Welcome. Welcome.
Hey everyone.
Hey
Yeah,
everybody. We
we
see
just
you
had
coming.
a quick chat. So welcome. We're about to get into the good stuff and let's get lyrical. So the second Wednesday of the month, a co-host gets to choose the song. So this month, Ty was the co-host who chose the song, and I want her to just give us a little backstory on why she chose this song.
Okay, so I chose this song because when this song came out, I was young. I was in my 20s. No, I might have been 18 or 19 years old when this song came out. And my mom had just moved away. She had moved to Ohio. And so I was like pretty much here by myself, and it was time for me to like really start to grow up and become an adult and things like that. And I didn't have no direction. It was like I didn't have the Lord. I didn't know the Lord then. And I was just trying to figure out what life was gonna be. I didn't have a job. I was I had been afforded to have plenty of people to help me out, back then. That's my drift. But but I didn't have real direction. And it was just like everything was going on in my life. And I was just like, oh my God. But then it was like when this song came out and I heard this song and I was just like, okay, because it introduced me into, and I'm gonna get more into it when we reveal it, but it kind of like introduced me into leaning on God.
Mm-hmm.
I never really understood leaning on God because I didn't really grow up in church. I didn't grow up going to church. I didn't grow up being religious. You know what I'm saying? So like everything that happened, it happened, it happened, and then I'm trying to push forward. So anyway, yeah, but it was like this song, it's my go-to song amongst other songs in this, but it's my go-to song when I'm just like, okay, God, I know you got me. I know you got me. And, yeah.
It's a really good song. I never heard it before, surprisingly. But when I listened to it over and over and over. And I'm in the gym because it makes me want to step. But it also has a gospel feel to it. But so here is the song for this week. Y'all ready? And I want to know, once we play the song, just put in the comments. We'll start talking about it. I want to know if anybody else has heard this song before because it's like a hidden gem, I think. The song this week is Testimony by Mary J. Blige.
Oh, wait a minute. I was trying to play the music, y'all.
Everything will be okay. This is a testimony, very story. Trouble gonna last away. It's gonna be alright. Everything will be okay.
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna play.
I know, right? That is,
but yeah. So okay. So like I was saying, like we all know Mary J. Blige's story. We know all about the drama that's in her life, different things. We all know Mary sing the sad love songs, all that or whatever. Like I was introduced to Mary when I was like, I think I was like 9, 10 years old when I was introduced to Mary. But I related to her. And that's crazy. What kind of drama was going on in my life at 9, 10 years old that Mary comes out with what's the 411, real love and all of this. And as 9 years old, I relate to her. Like that say a lot. But then because she has been one of my like, I don't get starstruck. I don't get impressed by a lot of people, but it's just something about Miss Mary J. Blige. I
Yes.
love this lady.
Yes.
And so, in a time that I was going through what I was going through in my life, just trying to figure out life. And then she came out with this album. It's the No More Drama album. That's when she was trying to get it crunk. She was trying to have fun. She was trying to get her life going. And then when I heard this song, like literally, I was in the car driving. I was on my way to an interview. Actually, the interview was for a clerical position at the aid office. And I didn't get the job, but I was in the car driving and I was just feeling so low. Like, I was like, what is going on with my life? Where is it headed? And the song, like, I think I had popped the CD in or something or whatever. And then the song came on and I'm just listening to it. And then she say, it's going to be all right. Everything is going to be okay. And then she said, when I raise my hands to the sky, I know everything is going to, when I tell you, I broke down in that car. It was like a movie. Like, it was raining. It was raining. It was just like, and I broke down in that car and it was just like, okay, God. And mind you, I wasn't a religious person. I didn't go to church. So I didn't know to talk and say, okay, God. I didn't know to raise my hands up to God like that. I didn't know about having an intimacy with God to say, God, I need you. But Mary J. Blige introduced me to that. And not taking away from us as Christians and whatever, but it's like God could use anybody. And he planted a little seed with that song in me to know that I need to look to the heavens. I need to look to God. And so it's so like the whole song, like, trying to pick out a lyric to say what is the main lyric for me, it's all of them. Because
I agree.
In the moment that I needed some encouragement, this was the song that gave it to me. Yeah. Because I didn't listen to gospel music then. So we can't say what God won't do.
God used Mary to get to you.
Okay.
Mary to get to you.
Yes.
And Mary's music is relatable. Yes, it is. Yes. That is a story. I mean, to be so young and have that but that's how God came into your life. That's awesome. I was thinking about the chorus. It's gonna be all right. Everything will be okay. Then a part where it says, this is my testimony, Mary's story. Trouble won't last always. Well, y'all probably want me to rap other than sing, but that's the chorus. Can't tell me anything. Okay, so it made me think about testimony. That's really what came to me. It was maybe about 8 years ago. I was sitting on the board. This was my first time on the board, and there was a question put out there like, somebody volunteered to speak to the graduates, and it was for a charter school, and it was for students who are in an alternative school. And for me, I volunteered. Now, I had never spoken in front of a large audience of people, but I wanted to speak to these children because I know what it's like to go to a school other than, your regular high school, because I was a girl who left school and had to go to the school for pregnant girls because I got pregnant at 16, became a mother at 17. So I knew what that was like. And I knew how your life can be changed by something like that, just depending on what path you decided to take. So I said all that to say, when I was thinking about what to say to these young people, and I came up with what I wanted to say, I thought about what is it that they need to know to get to where I think that they want to be in life. So I went up there and I talked about how I was looking for a job, because I was looking for a job at that time. And I told them I look good on paper, because I do. As an educator, I got a bachelor's degree, I have a master's degree, then I'm certified to be an educational leader. Those things look good on paper. This is what I'm telling the graduates. But there are things that happen behind the scenes before I even got here, standing before you, like becoming a mother at 17 years old, like having to go on welfare because I didn't have a job. I'm still in school. like being in abusive relationships. But those are the things that you don't see when you look at me. Those are the things that won't be on that paper. But because I was able to go through those things, that's my testimony.
Yeah.
And standing here before you is the reason, I believe, I went through those things, because I have the opportunity now to stand before you and say that I went through all these things, but here I am talking to a room full of graduates as a woman who went through so many things, and still here I am.
Yeah.
My testimony is meant to inspire other people.
Absolutely.
That's my testimony. And I thought about that. Like, this is my testimony. So
Yeah.
if you're going through something, remember that there is no testimony without the test.
Yes. Absolutely.
You have to get through the test.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then she said in the lyrics, through my trials and tribulations, I still believe that God had a greater plan for me.
Absolutely.
I'm getting chills because
I underline that too as well, Ty.
that's the gospel truth. Okay, so I know Diane want to get, but I want to say this while it's still on my mind. Let me say this.
Girl, say it.
When you hear somebody say, through my trials and tribulations, I still believe that God had a greater plan for me, that means you hope. You got hope. And I thought about this even while I was listening to the song. When you go into a medical profession and you talking to them and they do the follow-up, when they screening for depression, they ask you, do you feel hopeless? And I didn't think about it until I was listening to the song. Hope is the thing that keep you going. Hope is the thing that no matter what happened in your life, and when you got hope still residing in your body, you gonna still push forward. You gonna still keep going. You gonna still make a way. You gonna still try to do whatever you like. But when you hopeless, I never realized how powerful that question is. Do you feel hopeless? Because that means when you feel hopeless, that means you have woken up that day and decided that nothing gonna change.
That's right.
Tomorrow not gonna change. Today gonna be the same just like it was yesterday. Tomorrow gonna be the same just like it is today. But when you have hope, even though stuff ain't going right, your math will tell you, okay, we still got time in the day. Things can change.
Right. Absolutely.
We still got another day.
Absolutely.
Change tomorrow when you got hope. And so to think of it's just that lyric, through my trials and tribulations, I still believe that God had a greater plan for me. Somebody tag Mary J. Black.
Yes, absolutely.
Talking about Mary.
Hashtag Mary.
Hashtag Mary.
Yes.
Did he have anybody?
When I saw that this was the song that was chosen, I'm a Mary J. fan. I never heard this song before. But I was like, oh, it's a gospel. It's got that feeling to it. But today I have been full. I have been full because, and in here it says, it's Mary's story. Trouble don't last always. This is Diane's story. And I'm here to be a standing in the mist, not a storm, but on the other side of it. I just look over my life and I just think about, in the beginning, I've had some good days, I had some bad days. And just to look over, and I just look and little things, and maybe to somebody else, this don't mean anything. But I used to look in other people's life. And I used to want what they had. Even with going to somebody's house and their yard, to me, they got a beautiful yard and I wanted that yard. And I got a fence. But I said, I want these bushes going. And when they cut the bushes down, my yard was so big. And God said, I already gave it to you. He has been revealing so many things in my life. And I just have been in a feeling of grateful because I've been through so much and not even saying the so much, but while I was riding the ride of life, I never thought that I would be where I'm at today. I never thought that when I opened the door for people to come into my home, that they would feel the peace and the love that's in here. But if they knew my story, this is my story. This is my testimony.
Yeah.
Even the little simple things, just to be grateful. Sometimes we got to be grateful for the crumbs.
Mm.
God is going to bring you the bread soon.
Yeah.
So just being still and just knowing that He is God, just to look, I'm telling, when I tell you, I'm having work done on my house, and it's not even that it's the work, it's the God that's moving. Not one thing that I have asked Him for, He has not delivered. They was laying concrete, and I said to my aunt, I said, they laying this concrete. I said, but I'm gonna get some pavers. That I was gonna buy the pavers. The man came to me today and he said, we got some concrete left over. He said, you want me to put it over there in the walkway? That ain't nobody but God.
Nobody but God.
Sometimes we look. So my thing is this with this song that Mary is, saying, no matter, we just got to ride the ride, because God said everything is going to be okay. I remember times I didn't have anything I remember when I was going through a breakup, and when I moved out and I moved into my apartment, I had to put my things in storage. I left a house that was full of furniture. But when I moved, I had a size of a closet. That's all that I had. I broke down, was so hurt. My girlfriend said, don't worry about it, because it's just things.
Mm.
She said, when He bless you, He's going to bless you with an abundance. And it's not even the point of the things. It's the blessing, what He do when you believe and when you have hope, that He gets you through it.
Yeah.
This for me today, I'm full.
Yeah.
High.
You kept
ride. I'm
Yeah.
riding this ride. I'm telling you, from the Bronx, from the trenches with the rats and the roaches.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You know what I think about here in Chicago? When I came home from my vacation. I went to Hawaii, y'all know, for my birthday. Came back to Chicago. Snow, 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 snow every day. Snow, just snow, snow, snow. I mean, the snow was piled up. My puppy didn't even have anywhere to go use the potty when we went outside. But it just snow, 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 and that was 1 month ago. Today, I took my son for my puppy for a walk, and we're out there, and I'm in my little hoodie, and he walking just as happy, and we're just walking, no snow, no, and we're going. And it made me think about the seasons and the changes.
Mm.
And in your life, you have seasons.
Yes.
And the good thing about seasons is they come and they go.
Absolutely.
So even now, in the midst of the snowstorm that we all knew in Chicago, we were like, we're used to it. We knew that we were going to get on the other side of that storm.
Yes.
We knew that this was temporary, and we were going to get out of this storm, and then we were going to survive to see the sun shine and to be able to take walks again outside. So this song makes me think about the seasons in our lives, and they're uncomfortable. I was mad out there shoveling that snow every day, man. I'm like, this is not, I'm not where I'm moving to Florida. So I was not happy. It was uncomfortable. It was not pleasant, but it was a storm that we had to go through in order to get to the other side to see the sun and be able to take those walks, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just saying this sort of like a motivation to people, because I've had a few days that have been like tests for me, have been a test. But I had to remind myself, God, just keep me going. And I kept saying to myself, all things work together for my good. All things work together for my good. All things work together for my good. I don't know why I'm going through this right now, but all things work together for my good. All things work together for my good. I know that something is going to come out of this, even though it's not comfortable and I'm not liking it. So.
Right. And I think about the lyric in the song, well, the verse in the song, she said, and it's crazy because you know how you can sing a song and then you never hear the exact words that's being said, so you make up your own little words. But because we doing ladies and lyrics, I have to actually look up the lyrics to listen to the song, right?
Yeah.
And so she said, She says, but when I raised my head up to the sky, all of the emptiness was gone.
Mhm.
If you believe, you'll see in time that everything will be
All
all right.
right. Yes.
And that's just so bomb.
Yes.
Let me ask you all this. How do you feel in times where you are not feeling your best and people say that to you? It's going to be all right. It's going to be okay. Are you comforted by that, or who comforts you? Are you comforted by people? Because I feel this song is really about God. God
Yes, it is.
comfort. But do you share those burdens? Do you go to God? I'm just wondering, who do you go to when you need some comfort?
Well, I go to God and I also go to my support group. I go to the people that I know that's going to be there and that's going to help me get through it. Because sometimes when you in it, like Ty was saying, having hope, but sometimes you do feel hopeless. You feel like the other side, is it really another? Am I going to really be able to get on the other side of this? Because when you're in a storm, you just see only the storm, and sometimes it's a little hard to even see the other side. So my support group and God let me know that I'm going to get on the other side of it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
For me, I have learned to solely go to God. Like, okay, so to answer your first question, when people tell me it's gonna be all right, it's gonna be okay, or whatever they say when I'm going through something, I've learned to understand that, hey, at least you saying and you care about me. Even though I know those words at that moment, they can't change nothing. It's not making the situation feel better. You don't have the power to change what's going on. But at the end of the day, you care that somebody at least care enough to say it's gonna be okay.
Right.
And that's how I learned to look at it. Because then sometimes it's like you could be going through something, people know you're going through something, or they could be a close confidant or something, and then they don't say nothing. You be like, I was going through hell and high water, and she didn't even say nothing to me, or he didn't even say nothing. He ain't try to hug me or nothing. And it's like in the moment, it's not helping you, it's not doing anything or whatever. But I've learned to acknowledge that that's just their way of saying that they care. They know they're powerless. They know they can't do anything about it. They know they can't change the situation for me, but they want to let me know that at least they care enough to say it's going to be okay.
Right.
But I've learned to go to God. I've learned to, like today, situation with my car. I had a situation with my car. In so many words, I went one place and this man was like, baby, you're going to need a whole new motor and all this other stuff. And I was just like, look, now I'm a fresh 1.5 years entrepreneur. I don't get it at the moment to be going,
Right.
to get no another motor or no another car. So me and Westside, we went to another place and we had a different, report. But while I was sitting there, I might have looked frustrated. I might have looked like I was, I was thinking, but in my mind, I was like, okay, God, you know what I'm trying to do. You know, I'm trying to be an entrepreneur. You know, I got things in the work. Just give me one more year with this car. Just give me one more year. And then I should be able to get another car and I should be able to do this. And I should be like, I'm saying this in my head. Like I ain't asking for much. Just give me one more year. My car raggedy. I ain't ashamed to say it, but I'm gonna drive that raggedy car.
I know it.
Okay.
It's paid for, right? It's paid for.
And that's the biggest deal right there, that it's paid for.
It's paid for. I know.
Yes.
I know that car notice, man. Not having a car notice, like that's love.
Yeah.
I know that. Yes, absolutely. And I'm not rushing to get one either. I think my car is 8 years old, so understandable.
Yeah.
Elijah said that he gets irritated when people say that to him, and I can relate to that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that either. For me, it's like I'm a person of action, so it's like if I can't do anything, it's frustrating to me. So for somebody to say it to me, I'm like, okay, thank you. I appreciate it, but it's more of an irritant to me. So a lot of times I'm like you, Ty. I won't even say anything about most things I go through. I don't say anything to people. That's the honest truth. I take it to God. I take it to Him. I listen to music. like this, things that help to encourage me, and just I have to talk to him. I have to write. I have a journal. I have to write it out, listen to music, and talk to God. Because people, I don't do well with discussing my issues with people, because yeah, it's gonna be all right, but what are we gonna do? Like, what's the action? What needs to be done? We need to do something, So yeah.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah.
What about you guys out there? Give us some feedback about that song. I didn't see anybody that said that they knew it. Ty pulled that out, and she surprised all of us. Did anybody else, have you ever heard that song? And then what do you do when you don't feel all right and you don't feel okay? How do you encourage yourself? So that's the question now to the audience. How do you encourage yourself? Diane, how do you encourage yourself while we're waiting for the viewers to chime
Through
in?
music, through writing, through just motivating myself. Sometimes I just got to walk around the house and just talk to myself. And just sometimes I got to, like today, I got that cry out, believe it or not. I was full, it wasn't that I needed encouraging with that situation, but that's what I do when I need encouraging. I just sometimes just cry, just it's, a form of releasing and just praying and just knowing that sometimes when you in it, you don't see, but I have to honestly say that I have learned to know that it is going to be okay. So I know that, like Todd talked about the hope, I have that. I don't have no hopelessness. I have all the way to the end, I have that hope. I have that hope where people will be like, really, girl? Really? You really? And yes, really. Really to the point where it's like, can't you see that is it? I have that because I have that kind of faith in God. Until he say that's it, just now it's time for you to pull and walk away. That's me. So yes. And yes, sometimes it gets rough, but you got to encourage yourself. I do believe that. And I also believe that God worked through people too. So I believe that sometimes you go through something and the person don't even know it, and they come in and they giving you what you need to hear at that time. And sometimes you don't even have to say anything. And that those great words,
Yeah.
So Brenda says she does a daily devotional message. I have been big in that Bible Gateway app lately. That has been something like every morning I'm checking that every morning. So I love that too. That's a good idea. Kadeem, he says Kadeem, I encourage myself with reading positive affirmations and talking to God. I love that. Positive affirmations. I talk to myself all day long. And then Kadeen also say music is always comforting for me. Elijah says, when I'm down, I tell myself I've been through worse and this is nothing. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, Pastor
Elijah. Do it again.
Yes. And he said, I like to remember days when I was worse off, and I make the decision to count my blessings instead of my misfortunes. Suck it up and figure it out.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Couldn't have said it better. Yeah.
I've been worse. There's that song by, I think, who sings that song? It's a gospel song. Like, he did it before, he'll do it again.
Do it again.
Yeah. So if I got through that, when you think about stuff, I know y'all got one, but I say, if I got through that, this is nothing. Absolutely nothing. So let me introduce y'all to somebody, because he is on my lap.
Hey, Leo.
Hey, Leo.
This is Leo, guys. So some weeks, if you see me looking down or if I pick him up, his birthday was last Wednesday. I didn't let him get on. He was not happy about that, but I told him I'd introduce him this week. Say hi, Leo.
Hey, Leo, and happy birthday. When you come, I got some treats for you.
What would I need? I think that's for me. What would I need from a person to confide in them? That's a good question. I think I would need to know that I'm safe with them. That's what I would need. I would need to know and feel totally safe with them. And for people who want to be a shoulder to lean on, I would need to know that I'm safe with that person. And that would entail a lot of things. Number one being trust, right? I have to trust them. But as long as I'm safe, I think that was what I need, Kadeem. I go to God and ask that His will be done.
Yeah, that's the best way, Tammy, because we can't change nothing that God has already ordained. So
Absolutely.
come on.
Yeah.
Diana says, I encourage myself by praying, listening to music, exercising, and talking to my husband and going shopping. Okay.
Okay. I
So
like that
retail
shopping part.
therapy, retail
Yes.
Retail
Yes.
therapy. I know that's right. But then to also be able to talk to her husband. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, even though some of us are single, but to have a confidant,
Yes. That's
man.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well,
Okay.
thank y'all for
the
for
feedback.
tuning in.
Yes. Thank
Yes.
you for the feedback. Let's switch gears a little bit.
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about what's going on.
Yes.
What's going on?
Okay.
Hey, what's going on? We might have to license that so we can play this.
Because
Yes.
that's like we gotta play it.
What's going on?
We get our own little tone. Hey.
Yeah. So
I never say it.
okay. So what's going on is we have a person that inboxed us to ask us this question: to vaccinate or not to vaccinate? How do you respect your partner's or spouse's COVID-19 vaccination choice? Can a house divided stand?
Man.
So that kind of piggies back on last week's episode when we talked about Miss Coach Diane deciding that she was going to get vaccinated, and she filled out the paperwork and started that. So I guess that prompted the listener to chime in and ask, well, hey, look, in my household, my spouse want to get vaccinated, but I don't. What do we do in that situation? So what y'all think?
Well, okay. Since we brought it, since it came back up again, let me tell you where I'm at. Well, okay. For me, I was all gung ho to do it, and when it was time, when they started asking for my health history and everything, I really started thinking about it, and I was like, I don't really want to do it because I had too many unanswered questions. What's going to happen in a year from now? I feel like there's no studies out there from a year from now. It's just I really didn't feel comfortable, and I wanted to be gung ho to do it because my kids want me to do it. Well, two of my sons. The other son is like, I ain't getting that. But the other two is like, Mommy, you really need to get it. You're older. You have underlying health issues, and I was all gung ho to do it, but when she talks about, so I did not do it.
Mm-hmm.
And when she talked about, the listener was talking about a household divided, I feel like that's me and my son now, even though he's 17, and he's like, because he know I like to travel. He's like, if you get the vaccine and I get it, we could go some places. But if you don't get it, so my thing is that I feel that people, even in the household, you have to respect the other person's choice, because at the end of the day, even in a marriage, we are individuals first.
Yeah.
We are individuals, so we have to respect that person's choice that they make and just continue to pray and give them the support that they need, because you can't push people to do something in fear. If they're fearful, whatever their reason is for not doing it, we just got to say, okay. And if you want to go and do it, then that's fine. And for me, I didn't do it, guys. At first I didn't do it, and I'm okay with my choice of not doing it, and was okay when I said I was going to do it, but I had to really think about it.
Yeah.
What is your reasoning for me to do it? What evidence is out there? What's on paper? What's the studies? How long have they been studying? We've just been in this thing for like getting ready to go in a year.
Yeah.
And you came up with a vaccine in less than a year. We the study. I'm just saying that's just my view on it. And I had to really be honest and really think about it. And it was like, I could go right now and get it. I had to just really,
Yeah.
I mean, So yeah, Elijah said we'd have to settle that with a structured debate where both parties present info and evidence to support their stance. The best argument wins, like a court of law. Oh, that's too much.
Go ahead.
Cash says, my husband won't get vaccinated and I'm not sure, but that's not to say I'm not. Still making up my mind and still be careful and pray for protection from God.
Yes.
Oh, she had to make up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like what Diane was saying, that people should respect each other's decision. But I don't know. I'm not married. So I'm not telling married folk what to do. And I would want to respect my partner's decision. And I would want them to respect mine. But at the same time, I'm like, I kind of, I would want us to have a really deep discussion about it, because I think the vaccination is going to be a big deal for certain people when it comes to do certain things. And I think it could be a hindrance when my husband has gotten it and I haven't. And then, I don't know. I don't know. It's just I'm always going to play devil's advocate when it comes to things, because I always want to think about the other side of it. But I would like to think that whatever choice I make, it will be respected, and I would respect my husband. But knowing me, I'd be like, look, now,
yeah,
do this, because I would want us to be together. This is what I'm saying. I would want us to be of the like mind. I keep thinking about the Bible. How can two stand together except that they agree? And not that we have to agree on everything, but is getting vaccinated a big issue, or is it not a big issue? Because I think currently it's like a big issue.
Yeah. Like Tammy said, my husband is anti-vaccine, and I am slowly but surely backing off and praying that he will come around. And I mean, at that point, that's all you can do.
Yeah, that is all you can do, sir.
Yeah.
You don't want it to break up your marriage, or anything like that. But it is a big deal. That question, when it came up, I'm just like, I never even thought about that part of it, that there will be two people in a household who might have different views on it, and it be an issue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm not married. I'm not married either. So I don't know.
Because I also think that there's a difference when you're in a relationship versus when you're married.
Yes.
I don't, this is all my personal beliefs. I don't believe anybody that's not my husband has a right to be weighing in on stuff, serious, heavy stuff.
Right.
I mean, you can give your opinion and I'll take it. But when it comes to it, at the end of the day, when the decision that needs to be made, that's a husband and wife. Those relationships are different. That's a different bond. There's a different covenant.
Right. But the thing is, too, though, we're still individuals, too. We're one, but we also individuals, because if you married, and if your husband smashes his finger in the door, God forbid, and he starts screaming, you're not going to scream, you're not going to feel it. Yeah. So I'm saying that it is still an individual's choice, and it's not a marriage. It's not that it's not a marriage. It's still an individual's choice. It's a choice that you have to be comfortable with at the end of the day, because you think about it. If you say, well, I'm gonna go do it because I want my husband to be comfortable, but you ain't comfortable. And then you get some bad side effects.
Yeah.
So you gotta be, that's why I said it's a thing, like you said, just having a discussion about it.
I think we should talk about it.
And being very supportive to one another.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's both sides. If they don't get it, and then you do get COVID, and God bid you get really sick. So it's both sides.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it is an individual's choice, because it is our body.
Yeah.
It's a hard thing, and you're right. You should hopefully with some milk and cookies, you and your husband can kind of come to something.
At least it bears a serious discussion,
Yes.
Even if we have two different views on it,
Yeah.
We should at least have, look, hon, this, I'm going to do it, and this is why I'm going to do it. And
Yeah. And for anybody watching the replay, if you have some more sage advice that you can give us, because clearly we're a little stumped here, so we don't really know how to answer that question. I don't even think it's not
there
a
is no answer.
No, it's not a right or wrong. It's
There
your
is no right
choice.
or wrong.
It's just giving suggestions, and you take, you can. It's like eating fish with bones. You take the meat and you leave the bones. At the end of the day, that's all we could do. I also like what Devonia said when she said that if we're not married, we can't really sit down and have that serious discussion. I guess in a way, I don't know. That's a little.
That's just my personal belief.
Yeah,
I believe sometimes in relationships we kind of get the marriage stuff, and we're not married.
Yeah.
We're kind of getting things all kind of mixed up in there together.
Yeah,
and even though I've been married before, I still can't tell you from in that space what I would do.
Yeah,
I can't say. I don't know. I don't. Yeah.
You're not there
we've
now.
all been married, and we've all been married before.
Right.
So yeah. It's not a right or wrong answer. Agreed.
Right.
I don't think it's a personal choice at this point. So
yes.
Thank you for that question. But to answer, you asked, can a house divided stand? I don't think in this case that this is a case of I being a house divided. But no, a house that's divided cannot stand. It can't. But I don't think that this is a case of that. I think this is a case where two people can talk and decide to agree to disagree.
Yeah. I agree with that.
So any more last comments or questions? We're going to wrap up our second show. We believe it's been a great show. Discussing Mary J with you all.
Yes.
Anybody have a last question? A last comment before we wrap up the night?
We don't know what that means, Elijah.
What does that mean?
What do the P mean?
Does it mean
a period?
Period.
Yes. We want to make sure that our viewers go on YouTube, ring the bell, like, share, follow us, bring some other people. If you really enjoy this show and you all hung out with us for a whole hour, don't be selfish.
Yes.
Let somebody else get some of this good. Let somebody else
share us, please.
Share us. Yes.
And subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yes.
We are right now streaming on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe. Y'all are super duper dope. Hey, thank you. We appreciate that. Thank you so much. Please share us. Remember, the fourth Wednesday is Viewer's Choice. If you have a song that you want us to talk about, go ahead and put it on our page on YouTube or on Facebook. And yours might be the song that we choose for our very first Viewer's Choice song for the month. So that is it. Did anybody have any co-hosts? You have something to add before we sign out for the night? Anybody? No? Thank you all so much for our second show. It was amazing talking to you. Come back here next week at the same time. Invite somebody. Like us, share us, follow us, do all those social media things that we need. Oh, we're on Instagram too. We didn't tell you. So go ahead and follow us on Instagram. Good night, and we will see you all next week on Ladies and Lyrics.
Yes. Good night.
Everything will be alright. Everything will be okay. This is what's happening. Bye, y'all. Everything will be okay.